Getting to know you, getting to know all about you.
We're a branding studio. Yeah, we're coming up on our 15th anniversary on March 1st. We specialize in working on taking client messages and making sure that they're put out in all kinds of media. The kinds of work that we do is for clients who tend to be very, very smart. They have very complicated, thorny issues. They have a challenge getting across to a very sophisticated public, whoever that is, whether that's a prospective student or a gallery goer, somebody who wants to go to the opera, somebody who needs health care. So these are people who are actively thinking about what they're trying to do. Unlike a lot of creative companies, we're very grounded in doing qualitative and quantitative research. We really try to figure out what the needs are of the client before we start going in and drawing and creating words and pictures that are going to resonate. We know that we don't know everything about a client. If we do our job right, the simplest little brochure and the most elaborate website or television commercial all feel the same and resonate with the same look and images. That's how you build a brand the fastest. That's how you make it stick in a consumer's mind.
We have another category we call world changers, and it can be both large clients and small, but they tend to be clients that have a certain mission that someone here, whether it is one of the owners or one of our team members, just really feels strongly about. And we kind of wrap ourselves around it, and it won't matter their industry. It's really if they're making a difference in the world. So I think that's something near and dear to our heart that we were able to do.
We attract those kinds of people who are passionate. We love those kinds of people. We want them here. We feel very strongly that St. Louis needs to have, it's a city that desperately needs to have people who care about it and are trying to make it better. St. Louis cannot afford people who don't care or are passive about it. It needs to have people who are actively involved in making the place a better. I think with a lot of cities in this country, and particularly cities like St. Louis, a lot of people on the coasts in the bigger cities tend to discount cities like us. They don't think about them as they fly over them. But there's so much that we offer as a city. There's so much art here and culture.
When Eric and I first met, I think one of the things we always wanted to do was to own a piece of the city. It was sort of those things that you talk about. What are things that are important to you long term? And we're huge planners. And we've always felt like St. Louis has so much to offer, from its architecture to the people, to specific neighborhoods and how they all sort of complement each other and work together, but they all have different flavors. And when we got to a point where we were tired of paying rent and felt like, we really wanted to put our money, in what we believed in. So we found a little building in what we now call Midtown Alley and gut it, brought it back to life, and there was very little down here, so it was a little scary but exciting at the same time. And we just never looked back.
I am very fortunate. We have been able to build a team of the single smartest group of people that I've ever worked with in my life, and I've been around for a long time and worked a lot of places. Each of us is a half of a whole, so I couldn't do this without her, and she couldn't do it without me. That's the way it's supposed to be.
I think that the older you get, the more you realize the time goes by quickly. So I feel like we're incredibly blessed to be able to share good days and bad days, moment to moment. It's not just going home at the end of the day and sharing. I think we balance each other out nicely here and at home.